Hey, it's me, your boy Blue Getska, and I know it's been a while thanks to procrastination and other things, but here I am once again. And today I'll be talking about Bujins. First, for the Bujins, we have Bujin, not sure how to pronounce that, but it's obviously referencing Pegasus from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. First effect, you can send one other Bujin card from your hand to the graveyard, then special summon this card from your hand. That's a hard one's per turn. And the second effect says during your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Send one Bujin monster from your hand to the graveyard, add one Bujin monster with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. Or you can banish one Bujin monster from your graveyard, send one Bujin monster with a different name from your deck to the graveyard. The second effect is pretty decent. The only issue is it adds from the graveyard to the hand instead of from the deck to the hand. That way you can't ditch things like a rabbit or a turtle and add a crane or something. You can't do that unless you already have a crane in the graveyard. You can pitch a rabbit for that crane or for another useful Bujin monster. Also, just in case you don't know what Bujins like to do, they like to play a protect the castle type of playstyle, which is a little bit outdated, but it's still a somewhat decent strategy, and this card helps it out a little bit, especially since you can special summon this by discarding a Bujin card. But, of course, that would also decrease the amount of cards you have in your hand. Next, we have Bujin Torfune, which is arguably the better of all the new Bujin support cards. You can tribute this card, special summon two Bujin monsters with different types from your deck in defense position, which is already really good. And its second effect is when you exceed summon the Bujin monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can equip this card from your graveyard to that monster. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with the equipped monster. Needless to say, both effects are pretty good. Next and lastly, we have Bujin Section, and it's a continuous spell. Beast, Warrior, Bujin monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects except during the battle phase. So this provides extra protection for this deck, considering that, like I mentioned earlier, the protection is a little bit outdated. So this kind of like makes it so you don't have to constantly rely on having your Bujins in graveyard for that protection. Second effect, once per turn you can send one Bujin monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Then target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Doesn't negate monster effects, doesn't specifically negate spells or traps. It negates any card effect, any card your opponent controls. Obviously it's not a quick effect, so it's not that powerful, but it is still pretty powerful. And lastly, during your end phase, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard and target one Bujin monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Yeah, it's a little bit slow, but you can special summon your your Yamato, and then you can get your search during the end phase. Needless to say, this support is pretty good for Bujins and what they want to do. I think Bujins need a little bit more, but this is fine for now. Anyways, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, finally back again, and I'm out.